Welcome to Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, and into fitness. Well, this week, the spotlight shines on Holmen High School with a pair of outstanding student athletes. First, senior Reagan Bowl, and next to me, junior Ellie Kline. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Well, life has changed in this country in a variety of ways. Racial injustice, pandemic, you name it. Life has changed. Life has changed for high school students. Life has changed. You're in school, you're out of school. You have a season, the season's abbreviated, the season's canceled. You got to be kidding me. It is a difficult time to be in this country, young person, whatever. But your senior year, Reagan, has been disrupted.
Yeah, it definitely was very different, something none of us were expecting. Going into like the fall season, we were all like hopeful that we'd have a season, and we played our 2 games, but then we were kind of on hold, and each week we were just waiting, and it just kept getting on hold longer and longer.
How difficult is it? I know you're both social students, meaning that you have great personalities, you're well liked, and you're engaged in the community and in the school. How difficult, though, with virtual schooling? Reagan, does that bother you?
Yeah, at first it was hard just because I never saw any of my friends, and I liked going to school, like seeing like all my friends and being social with them, because there's some friends like that I didn't see outside of school, so it was nice being with them. But over virtual, it was very hard to communicate with people, especially if you didn't talk to them on a daily basis.
Well, Ellie Kline, a junior, you have your senior season ahead, but you're involved in so many activities. We're going to talk about all that, but know your family as well as Reagan's. Your life, you were thrown a curveball too, something that you didn't expect. Mm-hmm. And a lot of young people struggle with isolation, depression, mental health issues. Just they lose interest. In fact, there was a stat I was reading the other day. The number of high school athletes throughout the country after the kids went back to school declined greatly. Kids lost interest, and they went in different directions. How did it affect you?
Personally, in the beginning, it was kind of like I was finally getting a break. You know, you kind of saw like, oh, we get a 2 extra week spring break. And then as it got more serious, you kind of realized what the future was gonna look like. You realized you're gonna be at your home and everything. And my grandpa always taught me to just like find the best in every situation. So I took the opportunity, and I realized like this is a good time to get closer with my family and everything. So we did a lot of family activities, and obviously we missed out on like hanging out with friends and everything. But it taught me that like to not take anything for granted and to really focus on what you have in front of you instead of wishing what you could have.
Well said. You know, it won't be long when you'll be making the decisions in the world, people your age. You'll be at that stage of your life where you will make difficult decisions that will impact a lot of people. Fast forwarding to years from now when you are making those decisions, how do you want to see this country and this world, Ellie?
I think that like COVID has just taught everyone that to not take for granted anything, and I think that's kind of opened a few more doors, like a lot of more opportunities with like technology advancements. And I think that that situation allows people to like make a choice in life. Do you want to be kind, or do you want to like find ways to degrade people and everything? So I think a lot of times we're given the choice, and I think that it's good to see our country like come together. And I think with everything taken away, it allowed people to like make connections, to go out of their way and make connections instead of going about our daily life.
Reagan, years from now, you're a mom, you have 8, 10 kids, whatever. and you're hoping the best for them, and you're making decisions and so on. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think with Ellie, like now, like being like basically an adult, like you notice like how every day like something different can happen. So I think I would just like teach my kids like every day like is a new beginning. Like every day you can't take it for granted. Like you don't know what tomorrow is gonna bring, and you can't ever get like today back. So just make the best of each day.
This week, Ellie Kline and Reagan Bowl and from Holmen High School, and we're taping the show here on May 5th, and you're just getting into your fourth quarter, and the year is about over. And you know that in Holmen, you're recognizable as a student athlete, and athletes are on a platform, and athletes need to recognize that, because a lot of people are, especially young people, are looking at them. Someday I want to be a Reagan Bowe, someday I want to be an Ellie Kline. How do you handle that? Because you are on that proverbial platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when I was younger, I always looked up to the varsity teams. We go to the games and sit in the stands and be like, wow, maybe someday I'll be that. And just being in those shoes now, you realize that you have so many people looking up to you, so you feel like you don't want to let anyone down. So it's a lot to manage, but that's definitely a motivating factor, because you know you got little kids looking up to you.
Reagan, senior year, you're closing a big chapter in your life. Looking back on it, have you accomplished everything you wanted?
Yeah, obviously this year it was a little different, but our season went really well. We were undefeated until the very end, so it was very nice. And our sophomore year, it was everything that I wanted, playing with my sister, having that experience. So my high school season was definitely everything I asked for.
I read about you, both of you, but Reagan as a senior, captain, all-state. It's like, whoa! There's something most student athletes never achieve. You were voted a captain by your teammates, which is in itself sends a powerful message. What does it mean to be a captain?
I think it's very special. It shows that your teammates can rely on you with anything, if they need certain opinions or just someone to talk to. Sorry, you know that they can go to you and they trust you with anything. But it's also feels good about myself that I know I've worked this hard to get to this point in my volleyball career and it paid off.
One of the roles of a captain is to sort of have their radar up and anticipate and be aware of team drama, because team drama exists in every sport, male, female, at every level. Come on, there's no question about it. Mm-hmm. And you were voted as a junior, Ellie, as a team captain. When you see a drama unfolding, when you see a player or players maybe not producing to their level, what do you do?
Well, I think that it starts with developing the connection with them right away, that you can talk to them, you can have personal conversations with them, and having them trust you is really important, because then you feel like you can just have those very open conversations. And when you develop that connection with your whole team, then the drama a lot of times is minimized, because you just feel like you can talk to anyone. So it's just important to sit down and talk to them, say what's going on, because you never really know what's going on behind the closed doors. So just ask them what's going on and just try to talk it out, because I think that's important, instead of pushing the situation aside.
Kind of like your mom, Ellie, three-sport athlete. She was a leader too. I certainly remember her as an athlete, and All-State for you too, All-Tribune, All-State, All-Conference. You've accomplished a great deal as a junior. And do you have a favorite sport?
Volleyball, yeah. In 8th grade, it was basketball. I was so set on basketball. And then just as time went on, I developed my love for volleyball.
What makes volleyball so special as a Holmen Viking, Reagan? Because it just seems like all the sports have had success, don't misunderstand, but volleyball seems to be a sport that's just starting to evolve as one of the key sports in Holmen.
I feel like in the Holmen community, there's a lot of love for volleyball. Everyone's always congratulating you, and we were talking about it with our coach one time, wearing the Holmen volleyball sweatshirt around Holmen, it means something to us in the community. Everyone's always congratulating us on the wins, and always saying good luck and just expecting the best out of us.
Both of you leaders, no question about it. That's why you're captains, and your standout academically too is obvious. In honors academically, highest honor roll and so on, and leadership in DECA. So it's just something that you've sort of evolved to be a key leader as a senior. Is that something that you've aspired to do?
Yeah, I think throughout high school, they always talk about DECA's a big leadership thing for us. Like one of those classes like I've taken all 4 years, and it's just like helped grow my leadership with certain like business types of things that we do. So it's like really helped like take that and like put it into like different life with volleyball.
So you're in DECA too, Ellie, and some people may not know what that is that are watching this week. You want to share that?
Quote unquote, it is an association of marketing students. But at Holmen, it's really valued, and it's just a chance to grow your leadership skills, and a big part of it is your communication skills. So this year I went to nationals for DECA, and you work your way through districts, then state, then you go to nationals, and you create a project either individually or with a partner, and you go and compete with that project, and you have to present it to judges. And then you also have a role play, which they give you a situation. You have to take the situation, analyze it, problem solve, and come back with them with a solution. So it connects a lot of factors of an individual. It makes you sometimes go out of your comfort zone, which takes you far in life.
Kind of like being on the Seven Rivers Sports, out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right? So, but with both of you, knowing your families, both of you, your family's a big part of who you are, Ellie.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, at games, the first people I go to after games is my family. I always give them hugs, and it's amazing that I am fortunate enough to have both of my grandparents at all my games, like 4 sets, or grandma, grandpa, every game, and all my family tries to get to as much games as possible, and that just means a lot to me because I definitely wouldn't be the athlete I am without their support, and especially my siblings. It's very competitive at the Kline household, and so they've definitely fueled a lot of my competitiveness in sports, and so it's just important to thank them for coming to every game and being a big part of your success.
Competitiveness, that's kind of the Braun family too.
Oh, for sure.
Kline family, and I can sense that, and family a big part of who you are, Reagan.
Yeah, especially on my mom's side, we're really close with them. So having my grandma and grandpa come to all my games was really special, and not like we took it for granted, but with COVID, like at first it was only like immediate family members, so it's very hard in the beginning to not have them come because they're one of like they always come to like our cousins' games and stuff, like always making an effort to come to them. So it's really special that they get to come to all our games.
All right. Well, we're going to step aside just for a minute. When we come back, more here on Seven Rivers Sports.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
Seven Rivers Sports. This week, Holmen High School, Reagan Bowl, and Ellie Kline. Well, I've read a lot of books, authors talk about the value of high school athletics, the value of college athletics, all the things that it teaches. And one particular article I really enjoy talked about 5 core values of being a high school student athlete. 1, having a teachable spirit, meaning that when coaches get on you a little bit, encourage you, and maybe correct you, and so on. The teachable spirit means you accept it as a correction, not necessarily any other way. The coach cares about you. So it's a compliment to be talked to about maybe improving your game. Teachable spirit. Do you have that, Ellie?
Yeah, I would definitely say I have that. Both my parents have been coaches, And so just getting or understanding that they're trying to help you improve. Like if they didn't give you feedback, they don't care about you and everything. So it's just all looking at the perspective of getting feedback. Like if you think of it as negative and they're like being harsh on you, then you're obviously going to take it in a negative manner. But if you take it as they're trying to help you improve and they care about you as an athlete, then it's a lot easier to take feedback.
Humility. Humility meaning deflecting praise that's given to you and spreading it out to others. Not focusing just on you, appreciating the efforts of those that you serve. How do you display that, Reagan?
I think with humility, like we know like everyone's going to make mistakes. Like volleyball is a game of mistakes, so not like focusing on like the mistakes we've made, but like getting better off the mistakes and not really like taking it, like looking back at it. Like volleyball, like that's how you score like the other team's mistakes. Like looking at it like you're gonna make mistakes, like it's okay, like you just have to like know how to get better off.
Exactly. Toughness. Toughness doesn't mean physical toughness necessarily. It means persistent, handling setbacks, resisting temptations, which everyone has. And attacking things with great force. That's toughness. Effort is unquestionable. Is that you?
Yeah, one of the things we focus on with Holmen volleyball is mental toughness. So I think mental toughness plays a huge role in volleyball. And so going into the game with having a certain mentality that leads to success is huge. And we as a team do visualization before the game, which I think helps like clear our minds and get us focused for the games.
Enthusiasm. In other words, like a friend of mine, Tom Kline, who coached at Marquette, says he wants athletes that don't necessarily buy in. He wants them to lock in with enthusiasm, not be passionate, not lukewarm, but just get in there with every bit of energy you can possibly have. Reagan?
Yeah, before our games, like we do like a pump up circle kind of, and like just like get our energy like rising, and then we take that on the court and really like being smart with our energy. Like if we're down and haven't like gotten the next couple points, like really building up our energy and like focusing on the next point to move forward. And like if we've gotten like the lead, to like keep the lead going and like finish it all the way.
Smart with your energy. Well put. Well, Reagan Bowe, senior outside hitter, spring of 2021, 121 kills, 391 career kills over 3 years on the varsity. Here's what your coach had to say about you. Reagan has been monumental in the varsity team's success over the past few seasons. She always works hard, gives 100%, and does her best for all of her teammates. She's worked her way into being one of the top players and has a repertoire of different shots. Whoa, but here's what I like. More than anything, though, Sammy Meyer, your coach, said you have a huge heart and has been a great role model for younger players. I'll convert that to this. Reagan has a true heart, a true huge heart. I'll say Reagan has the heart of a champion. Pretty lofty comments from Coach Sammy Meyer.
Yeah, she's definitely helped build my confidence over the past couple of years with like volleyball. Like it's something I've struggled with like when I was younger into my high school career, is like confidence in myself. But she's definitely made that grow and like help my confidence like as my career went on. Like it was really nice like having her like always like on the bench encouraging and just like helping me understand that everyone's gonna make mistakes and I just have to shake it off.
She lifted you up, okay, and so paying it forward in your lifetime, Reagan, your calling is to lift others up, and I'm sure you do and you will. Ellie Kline, a junior captain, we talked about that, both sophomore and junior season. You have been on the varsity since a freshman, playing libero. 1,000 career digs this past season. Here's what Coach Sammy Meyer says about Ellie Kline. She's the compass of our varsity team. That's a good word, a compass. You're a compass, you know what a compass is. As far as a libero, you have a bird's eye view of the court. Yes, you do.
My height helps.
She has a huge volleyball IQ. I'm not surprised at that. So did your mom. And she's extremely consistent, is Ellie Kline. She works harder than anyone else on the court. Her passion is quite apparent, and it's just fun to watch. Ellie Kline. Did you know she was going to say that about you?
I don't know. You never know what you're going to get from Sammy.
Well, react to those nice compliments.
Yeah, she's definitely a big part of my volleyball career. She pushes all of us every single day at practice, and she's very easy to talk to. She's not only a coach, but she's just like an overall, like someone, a trusted adult that you can talk to about anything, and you know she'll have your back with anything.
Yes, I've heard that too. Well, back to Reagan a little bit. So you mentioned your toughest opponent is Aquinas, and that brings a lot of energy out of you.
Yeah, it's always fun playing against Aquinas. Like, we always know going into that week that we have tough competition ahead of us, just because it's always like close either way, like the sets, the points, like we both have like the same energy and skill level, so like it's really fun playing against them.
Highest honor roll plus various jobs, balancing everything, challenge?
Yeah, sometimes, especially like having practice every day, it's hard to manage like going from school and then to practice and homework. What I've normally done is like take off during work during volleyball, because I know I won't have the time to do it unless I work on the weekends. But it's definitely tough, but like throughout like the high school like 4 years, like you've definitely found ways to help with time management.
How is your sister, who's your favorite role model, how has she inspired you?
She's always like shown that hard work pays off. Like, she's very good like in school, so she's always like shown like how like studying can pay off for hard work with volleyball. Like, she made it her junior year, and like just powering through the last 2 years and like showing that playing really does help.
Role models for Ellie. This is really interesting. We got to make sure that this guy watches the show. Rylan Wall, one of your role models, along with your parents.
Yeah, Rylan and I have grown up together since a really young age, and I've just always like looked up to him. He's very hardworking, good kid overall, does well in school. Like, I don't know, like we've just been really good friends over the past couple of years, and he's just taught me to like keep grinding.
In your part-time job at Reagan's, plus 3 sports, academically at the top of your class, top 10 class rank, you're doing it all.
Yeah, it's sometimes a lot to manage and balance and everything, but you just gotta find your why in whatever you're doing. You gotta find like why you're doing this and what's pushing you to doing it. And I think that when you look at it in the big scheme of things, it's definitely worth it.
And your favorite opponent, Onalaska and Aquinas, too, like most schools would say, they all have excellent reputations in athletics. But rapid fire drill, staying with Ellie. This is interesting. You have lots of outdoor things that you do as hobbies. Mm-hmm. And it's hiking, it's hammocking. I was hiking last night way up on the bluff, and I see some people in the hammocks at like 8:30 at night. It's like, you ever gonna go home or what? It's getting dark out. So you like to do that, right?
Yeah.
Leadership. How would you define leadership?
Oh God. Leadership is definitely like an honor that you have to like take upon yourself. Like, you as a leader, it's important to be an ideal like role model. Like, you want to become that ideal person that people look up to. And leadership does not just come on the court. Like, it's on and off the court, and you got to set the example that you want people to look up to.
The depth of Ellie Kline. She also says developing an ideal version of herself. And your philosophy of life is live in the moment. And what really distinguishes you from a lot of people, I think, is you like to surround yourself with people that make you happy, that bring out the best in you. Mm-hmm. Have you always had that attitude?
Yeah, I just realized that like life is obviously limited. Like, you know what I mean? You got to make the best of every moment. And if you're not surrounding yourself with people that make you happy or activities that make you happy, then what are you doing? Like, you should focus on yourself sometimes and just live your best life and not focus on what other people are doing around you.
Yeah, and control the uncontrollables. Or control the controllables.
Yes.
Can't worry about the uncontrollables, yes. Control the controllables. The depth of Reagan Bow also, wow. What's something people don't know about you?
My confidence with sports has been very low, especially when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, it's definitely gotten a lot better.
Yeah, I can sense that. And your philosophy of life, I thought was incredible too. You indicate that you should spend time doing things you really love, sports and hobbies.
Yeah. I really like spending time with friends and family, especially with COVID this year. Like, it's changed my mindset of things. Like, you can't take like spending time with people for granted, and just making sure you're always like willing to spend time with people and surround yourself with the people who love you.
Life is a gift, Reagan, and waking up every day and accepting and appreciating that is who you are, isn't it?
Yeah. With COVID again, like, waking up every day, like, especially during the fall season, like, you just had to like wake up every day and like realize like I might not be able to play volleyball tomorrow with COVID. Like, it might end it. Like, just playing every day, like, with the mindset like this might be my last day. Like, I just need to make the best out of it.
Unusual depth for high school student athletes, and we need to tell our viewers too that something you may not know about Ellie Kline is she's never had sushi.
No, it's not appealing to me.
You just don't like the looks of it.
No.
Well, I got to say something. I've never had it either because it doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, wow, it's been a pleasure to have from Holmen High School, Ellie Kline and Reagan Ball. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right. We'll be back with some closing thoughts and some highlights of a recent game right after this.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Well, Jesse and I were at Lee Gilbert Field on Tuesday for an inter-city matchup, the Logan Rangers versus the Aquinas Blue Golds in an MVC game. In the early innings, it was a pitcher's battle, 2 seniors on the hill. For Logan, George Luckner, and for Aquinas, Aiden Lee. In the 4th inning, the Blue Gold Bats came alive, scoring 3 runs, with Kelvin Hargrove, Michael Liam, and Eddie Peters recording hits. 3 more Blue Gold runs in the 5th, Liam, along with freshman Cole Keppel, doing the damage. The only Ranger run came in the 7th as Gabe Catchy scored on a wild pitch. Logan player of the game, Jonah Gruen, had the only Ranger hit. Eddie Peters and Aiden Lee were Blue Gold players of the game. These 2 teams collide again on Thursday at Logan with the first pitch scheduled for 5 p.m. The Blue Golds moved to 14-1 on the year, and Logan drops to 1-7. Final, Aquinas 7, Logan 1. Well, that does it this week here on 7 Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping you will have an active and a healthy week ahead.